Hello and welcome to All Around Annapolis. I'm your host, Rhonda Wardlaw. Multiple sclerosis, better known as MS, is a debilitating disease and a chronic disease that through time will rob the person of their livelihood. However, a number of people, including the lady sitting next to me in this chair, Stephanie Duncan Truxtall, have avoided many of those problems associated by merely walking. I'm going to explain a little bit more about that in a minute, but I'd like to say welcome, Stephanie. Thanks so much for being with us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Talk to me about the catchphrase with MS. What does MS do to its...
Basically, we say it stops people from moving.
It stops people from moving.
And it's a nervous system. It affects your nervous system. And basically, the connection from your brain, spinal cord, or the optic nerve can be affected. And with that, then it causes the issues of some people have the blurriness, some people just can't move and so forth, and you just keep moving forward with all the different therapies that they're coming up with.
You know, and one of the most probably popular or best known person that's been a spokesperson for MS has been Annette Funicello.
Yeah.
We remember her, of course, depending on your age, as the Musketeer Annette. But, you know, it really was important that she brought this disease to the front and allowed people to understand that even the perkiest and the best of the people, you know, are being struck down by this really just horrific disease.
Yeah. There's many people. You're hearing Montel come out about it, and here's Montel was a Navy grad and, you know, staunch athlete, and he has it. Laverne and Shirley, Squiggy, he has MS. So there's a lot of different people that are coming out to the forefront. And of course, I don't tell people that I have MS, but it's there. It's something we deal with.
And talk to me about the stages of MS, because I, as a friend of Stephanie, knows that the one thing you don't want to do is charge or run for a hug from someone with MS, because balance is very you know, limited. But talk to me about the various stages.
There's relapsing remitting, which you could have an attack and it goes away. Some people, it continues on. I have the numbness and tingling all the time. The gait, you're challenged with your gait. Sometimes you'll have memory loss, have cognitive skills affected, and so forth. So there's a lot of different, you know, stages of it. Progressive is probably then the next step. But usually relapsing remitting, I think it's 85% people suffer with that. Normally it's women that are affected more with MS.
And how many people in the United States that we know of?
400,000 in the United States, 3.5 million in the world that suffer with MS.
Wow.
They don't know if it's a virus. They're, you know, very confused. It took probably 6 months to a year to diagnose that I had MS. And it's kind of like a process of elimination all the time that you're dealing with.
And when it continues its ongoing route through the body, does it move a certain direction? Does it go bottom to up or up to down?
No, it really doesn't.
It affects different.
It really doesn't. It depends where the lesions or what it's called, where the myelin, and it's almost like a piece of wire that you have the coating over the wire that gets pulled off, and that's your nerve. So if it hits your optic nerve, of course, it's going to affect your eyesight and so forth. Spinal column, that can deal with your gait and so forth, and of course with your brain, again, those different issues.
And lack of speech can eventually be.
Right, right. And there's different ways. I mean, you get MRIs all the time, and they look to see, I don't have any lesions in my spinal cord, but I have lesions in my brain. So it's just different ways. And of course, when you have MS for as many years as I have, you become a doctor yourself, and you look at your MRIs and read your MRIs and try to be your own advocate for it.
Absolutely. And let's talk a little bit, because it's important that we raise money to find a cure, but in the meantime, what kind of treatments do we look at to help get through these difficult outbreaks, as you call them?
Right. They do have interferons that they call it. They call it the ABC drugs that they give you, and those are injections. I personally go into Georgetown and get an infusion of a new drug that just came out, and that's been, you know, keeping me at bay with what I have to deal with. And trying to think, I think those are the major ones. And now they're looking at trying to get an oral drug on the market. Wow. So that would be great if that happens. I mean, that I'm not getting poked anymore would be wonderful. So
when we do fundraisers for MS, we're actually working on treatments as well as the cure.
That's true.
Well, let's talk about a fundraiser that's coming up.
Yeah. The walk that we're going to be having the MS Walk here in Annapolis, April 3rd. And we'll have plenty of people coming into town. This is the first year back after 2 years being outside of the city of Annapolis, so we're really thrilled with getting it back because we meet right at the Marine Corps Stadium and walk right into downtown and so forth, go down to City Dock and then come back out and finish at the stadium again. And you were a part of it 2 years ago.
And City Dock is a great place because they have their little water station and bananas and all that kind of stuff. You can kind of, you know.
And watering holes and all of the above.
Yeah,
so.
it's a great walk. And some people I noticed did, you know, speed walk, and some people actually ran it.
Absolutely.
And what is the total distance?
It's 3.5.
So just a little more than a 5K.
It's just a little bit, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. So it's good. It's a nice walk. I've walked in the rain. I've walked in the beautiful sunshine, and it just depends on what it is. But it's the people that you're with. You know, my team, we're called the MS Busters, came up with that name 11 years ago when I was diagnosed with it, my daughter, and she made a T-shirt that says the MS Busters and so forth, and we've been going strong then.
Absolutely. And if somebody wants to get involved, and again, the whole idea of the walk is to keep people moving with this disease. So let's talk about how to get in contact with you or the MS Busters.
Hey, you can get with the MS Busters. We're on the web and msbusters.net. And my sister, Tracy Seabolt, is the chair. She and her husband actually have traveled numerous times with the U.S. team and so forth, and going and learning about the therapies and how to fundraise and so forth. And we've been one of the top fundraising teams for the state of Maryland for the last 10 years, so it's been very, very fulfilling for us.
And this is a team that started with, what, $1,000 back in 2000 and up to about $140,000 now.
I know, $140,000, and we have dogs that walk, you know, every foot counts. So.
Absolutely. Now, what a great way to spend a day together as a family, with bring that child, bring the pet, just kind of have a good day all together. Talk to me about what your vision is, you know, obviously through all these fundraising efforts that you've been doing for 10 years, obviously the ultimate goal, a cure, but talk to me a little bit about the more immediate goal that you have.
Well, I can say the immediate goal, even of having this walk, is to be connected with all the people that have supported me and all the other people with MS. You know, you don't get through this disease if you don't have connections. And it's very difficult. You know, the stress is one of the major factors of MS, so you don't want to worry about the stress that you have in your life. And you know, that connection is great, and I've been blessed with learning and growing in so many different ways with it, and meeting people. As you know, the previous Surgeon General, his wife also has MS, and she and I have become best friends now. And you know, the friendships that grow from this is just so valuable, so valuable. When I go into Georgetown and I'm with the nurses and the doctors, you know, I know them. They want to come to Annapolis. And that's the beauty of being able to have the walk in downtown Annapolis, because it's a way to showcase who we are, what we are, and promote the city.
Outstanding. Give me that address one more time where people need to go to sign up.
msbusters.net, and it's the Maryland chapter of multiple sclerosis.
And if you'd like to walk in the Annapolis, that's coming up on April 3rd, and there is a list, a series of cities.
You see the team, yes, there's numerous cities around that will be doing that same day. So plenty of support. So yeah, we'll take all the support. I'm ready for the cure.
Outstanding stuff. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for letting me have it. And you can see I wore the orange because this is the MS color. So you know, you had to support the orange that we have, the orange bracelet that I always wear with my pearls and diamonds, you know.
I'm thinking if there's anything orange, but I will be there in orange.
There you go.
On
there
Sunday,
you go.
April 3rd, when we walk, the MS walk for a cure, but in the meantime, for friendship. Thank you so much for being with us on All Around Annapolis. We'll be walking all around Annapolis, and we'll see you there.